everyone. Welcome to my Facebook Live, Lunch with the Dietitian, where I get to meet all of you every Friday at noon Eastern Time. Super excited for all of you to be joining me today. And today's topic is let's keep our hearts beating. February happens to be a hot month. And so I figured, I know I've talked about this before, but I am very close to my heart because, it does run in my family too. So I will be talking all about hearts. And basically, what we are going to dive into today is where our hidden salt and sugars are. As most of you know, I am a very body inclusive, I believe in including all food groups, everything, pretty liberal about when it comes to working with my clients. In their journey towards health. But the two things that I really tend to get picky about are your salt and sugar. So we will be chatting more about that. Super excited for it. Those of you who are just joining me, my name is Moshumi. I am a registered dietitian. I run my private consulting business, primarily working on helping women mostly do a lot of women health issues, but I also work with men in helping them reach their weight goals. Have had really good luck in reversing things like diabetes, cholesterol, and so on. So again, this is hot healthy month is what I call it. So we will be discussing all about it. So yay, let's get started without spending any more time. So I'm just kind of going to quickly touch base about the risk factors. Whenever we discuss risk factors, I usually like to divide it into two. One is your non-modifiable risk. The other one is the modifiable risk, right? So what are our non-modifiable risks? One is 40 years and older. Anybody who is 40 years and older, as we get older, we are increasing our risk for heart diseases. So keep that in mind. Gender. Men are at higher risk till, when you compare them to premenopausal women. Now, women, pay heed to this. Once you are around that age group, you are at equal risk as men. So definitely, many a times as women, we oversee or overlook this. Do not do that because, our risks are equally at that point. There is no gender differences there. Ethnicity, that is another non-modifiable risk. As possibly most of you know, African Americans, South Asians remain at higher risk for heart diseases. A big one, family history. Anybody with a family history of premature heart diseases, you are definitely at a higher risk. The other one is anybody who had preeclampsia, hypertension during your pregnancy, you remain at higher risk too. So these, to just down, are like a non-modifiable risk. Now there are some modifiable risks, right? The ones that we can change, and that's what we are going to talk about. And that's something I love talking about in my blogs too, because we can change those. What are our modifiable risks? One is our weight. When we are over a certain BMI, we are at higher risks, right? Not only for heart diseases, but for many other health issues also. So definitely we want to watch our weights, our diets. In fact, there are studies that show that heart risk would decrease by 30%, or heart attacks, in fact, would decrease by 30% with a change in healthful diet, right? So again, very important. Your diet is like super duper important, guys, for especially for any and every disease, for being healthy. heart disease. 2, physical inactivity, very important, especially with so many of us working from home now. I cannot stress the importance of making sure that we are active, we get moving. My rule of thumb is, if you are sitting on your computer for an hour, you need to get up and do like a 10-minute walk or something. Move your bodies while sitting. Even if you're working on a computer, I always say have your dumbbells close to you, move your arms, move things around. Oops, sorry. So that's another thing that is modifiable. Coming to some disease things, high blood pressure, that puts you at risk for higher cardiac risk, right? And things we will be chatting about. Again, I don't think I can complete everything in today's session, but we will do a little carryover for our next one too. So, definitely watch me. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, even if that means your LDL is marginally high, your total cholesterol is marginally high, you still are falling in that risk factor. High blood sugar, which means even pre-diabetics, even if you're not diabetic, if you're borderline blood sugar high. In fact, guys, I will tell you, if you are borderline high, whether it be your cholesterol, your LDLs, your sugars, best time to reverse it, lifestyle, diet. I've done it in like 100% of my clients, just with food, exercise, lifestyle changes. So absolutely, please, 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 if you are in that zone where, your physician has told you, or in your lab results are showing that you're like a pre-diabetic, or, your cholesterol is marginally high, please work on your diet and lifestyle. So you don't need to get into any of those statins. Then you don't, if you're a diabetic, you don't need to take any of those medications if we can reverse it, which I will tell you, we can 100%. We can, like I said, I've done that with so many clients that I know it can happen. So let's go for it. So now talking about the two big things, are the two S's, is what I call them, salt and sugar, right? Now, let's first kind of focus on our sugar. So a few things, just something that always surprises me every time I read it. On an average, an American is having 22 teaspoons of sugar per day. So much, right? It's like, whoa, 22 teaspoons. That's like a humongous amount. But guys, that's the average count. Where is it coming from? It's not all the sugar that you're adding into your coffee or tea or whatever. It is coming from your added sugars. Super duper important to read your labels. Again, coming back, processed foods have so much of added sugars in it. So please, please read your labels. General rule of thumb, I always say your added sugar should be less than 6 teaspoons, which is about 24 grams. One, just a cup of flavored yogurt. If you don't watch, guys, just 1 cup of flavored yogurt can have as much as 18 grams of added sugar in it. So again, watch out, read your labels. That's like a big, big deal for me. If you are on your pathway to healthy eating, very important, right? I say also any product that, so you might ask me, Shimi, how do I know what is the better one? Any product that has less than 6 grams of added sugar is a better choice for you, right? So again, look for that word added sugar in any product you're having. Some of the very common things that are, common in all of our households that have added sugar in them. One is, of course, yogurt. Like I said, watch for your yogurt. In fact, I say just get plain old Greek yogurt. Add your sugar to it, like add your maple syrup, add fruit. At least that way you are aware of how much honey or molasses or maple syrup, any of the natural forms of sugar, they're still sugar, but you are aware. Awareness is super important versus, thinking, hey, I am on this healthy diet. I'm not adding any sugar to anything. But then end of the day, I look at your diet and you've got so much of added sugar in your diet, in your meal. It just surprises me because that's what I do. I have my clients do diet recalls. I read those, and like I said, so many times people go, I am not adding any sugar. I've cut back on my sugar. And then when we look at the diet, it's like, whoa, you had a lot of added sugar today, right? So it is hidden, and that's why it is dangerous. So again, watch out for those hidden sugars. Like I said, yogurt, it's there in your cereal. Another big one is your condiments, okay? Your ketchups, to your barbecue sauce, to your soy sauce, to who knows, all the salad dressings, everything that we're using. Again, the two S's, they are packed with your salt and your sugar. So when people come in to me, when clients approach me and join my program, the first thing we kind of start cutting back on, of course, gradually, are our condiments and the amount we are having. So sometimes I see people drizzle that ketchup on their burger, right? They might be thinking, oh, I just made like a homemade plant-based burger, super healthy, but I drizzled all that ketchup. What did I get? Tons of salt and sugar. So watch out for that. If you have to use it, I say let's try again to not do more than half a teaspoon. And this is something also we can teach our kids, because if you start this really young, where you're having them kind of watch, as grown-ups, then they're not going to want that many ketchups and condiments. And the other thing that I was just going to talk about are our drinks. Sometimes especially like for kids, the flavored milks, ample amount of added sugar in there. I would much rather, make chocolate milk at home myself, because again, I know what I'm adding, exactly what the products are in there, versus buying those little cans or cartons of our milk. So anyway, so yeah, definitely watch out. The other thing is sugar. We always say sugar, right? But sugar has so many different names when it is marketed in different products. So that's another thing to watch out. For those of you who do follow my blog, I did, it's been a few months now, but I wrote a whole blog on the different types of sugars. And I cannot recall right now, but I think I had like 101 names for sugar, different names that we have. So for example, watch out for things that have syrup in it. For example, high fructose corn syrup, rice syrup, things like that. Watch out for those words that end with OSE, like your sucrose, your dextrose, your fructose. Those are different names for sugar. So let not anybody fool you into thinking that, oh, this does not have so much sugar. So awareness, again, is super duper important. And that's why I say, let's read our labels, right? So before any of you ask me what I am drinking, this is my carrot, celery, ginger juice I made today. And the one thing with juicing is don't throw away the pulp, guys. That is where your fiber is, right? Since we are talking heart healthy, a big thing is your fiber, and even your vitamins. All of that will be retained if you don't strain it. So try not to strain it if you're really, or if your kids are, or even for elderly people, sometimes they're very sensitive to texture. dilute your juice with adding more water and have it over like a period of maybe like 1 to 2 hours. But this is just fresh juice, nothing added. I will tell you, a lot of hidden sugars are in like a juice concentrates and those things. So I always say steer away from store-bought juices. Fresh juice, if you can make it at home with like all the pulp and everything, that's perfect. If you like it sweet, you can go ahead and add your natural sugars. Like, sometimes in some of my juices, I'll throw in like 1 or 2 dates. Sometimes I'll throw in some figs, prunes, things like that. But yeah, work with your fruit juices. Like I said, great way to hydrate yourself too, but fresh homemade juice. And then, of course, I do add my anti-inflammatories in here, a little bit of my turmeric, and then I do add some pepper to help absorb the curcumin. So yeah, that's my juice, in case you guys are wondering what I'm drinking today. So anyways, I know we chatted about juice. The other thing that I see a lot of people do, and I am doing that too, are smoothies, right? We love our smoothies. But believe me, since we are talking about sugars, I kind of want to touch base about our smoothies too. The one thing with smoothies is you have to be careful on as to what you're adding in your smoothies. I say keep your smoothies super simple. Base can be your unsweetened milk. Like if you're adding regular cow's milk, that's one thing. If you're adding any of the alternate milks, like your soy or almond or rice milk, whatever, that's fine. But try to get the unsweetened variety. I absolutely love my frozen fruit, just because it gives you the nice frozen texture. It feels like ice cream then. And the other part is, remember, I always say this, your frozen fruit is packed at the highest quality, nutritive quality with freshness. So it's actually, if you're not able to go and access fresh fruit all the time, and like in Michigan, winter weather, sometimes it's hard to get out. I always have my bags of frozen fruit, and I just go ahead and add those to my smoothies. That, and then, add like a neutral vegetable, like your spinach or your cucumber, your zucchini, one of those. And then, your protein source could definitely be like your plain Greek yogurt, your seeds, like, I just talked in my last live about chia and flax. So, add those again. Those are perfect. So anyways, that's my little talk on smoothies. And talking about fruit, many a time I get asked, fresh fruit, does it have too much sugar? I'm diabetic, da da da, and so on. No, fresh fruit has natural sugar. Again, sugar in the raw or natural form, guys, is not as bad for you. It is when sugar is going through all that processing, it creates havoc in our bodies. So I would much rather that you have fresh, or like I said, fresh frozen fruit, rather than go and get like a anything that's processed, like a cookie or anything like that. A much better choice for you is, of course, to get your like I said, fresh or frozen. And definitely they're not they only have natural sugars. They have your cardioprotective antioxidants. They're packed. So yeah, definitely go for them. Right now, what is the other thing that I often get asked is how much of fruit or how much of vegetable should I eat? This is my rule of thumb. Okay, now it varies diagnosis to diagnosis, where your weights are, what your lifestyle is. Every plan I make for every client of mine is tailored for them. So it's hard to kind of compare, but again, a generalized rule of plan is at least 3 to 4 servings of your fruit. So, and what is a serving? Like a medium-sized apple, orange, those are your servings. If you do dried fruits, only like a quarter cup, that would be your serving for a dried fruit. Similarly, with vegetables, I say at least 4 to 5 servings per day. And what I love about, what I would ideally like rather, with vegetables, is to do maybe at least 2 servings of your cooked vegetable, and then do 2 servings of raw. If you can do like a cup of leafy vegetables and then a cup of raw, like your celery, carrots, whatever, that's great. And then of course, if you've done like fresh juice, like I just made this celery, carrot, ginger juice, this is great too. This will count for your vegetable serving too. So really, it's not that difficult to reach that during the day. And I will tell you this, by adding 4 to 5 servings of vegetables, guys, in our daily routine, we are cutting back the rate of heart risk by at least 30 to 40%. That's a big deal. So I mean, highly, highly recommend all of you to start adding that to your, daily regimen. Really, like I said, doesn't take that much. Super easy to do it, right? So I think that we've kind of touched base about sugar. If any of you have any questions, please go ahead and send it to me. Usually I can't see them right here while I'm talking, so I will address them once my live session is done. And any topics you guys want me to pick, happy to do that too. Please share my video, share my blogs. I love this is not only my profession, this is my passion. I want, my goal is to to reach that optimum health and to provide optimum health and good food and good diet and these messages to as many people as possible. So again, before I start the next segment, we did sugar and now we are talking salt. The 2 S's, I call them, right? Again, a few facts before I actually start about salt. 80%, guys, 80% of heart diseases can be prevented just by lifestyle modification. That's a big number. And that really, really bothers me because, I'm like, we could have prevented this, right? So why aren't we working towards it? So again, 80%. So keep that. If you are anybody who is, like I mentioned, you fall in the risk category, definitely work on, your lifestyle. Even if you don't fall in the risk category, like I said, it's never early to start. I always say health is a journey. It's not a destination. We can start anytime, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. I could start today, this minute. I'm going to just change my mindset and work on that, right? Yep. So let's get on to the next S, which is our salt. A lot. In fact, we talk more about sugars in this country and not so much about salt. Overconsumption of salt is very, very common here. In fact, most Americans, we are consuming double of what is being recommended. That is a big amount of salt that we are consuming, and it has a huge effect on our bodies, on heart diseases, cause of heart failure. So guess how much our bodies actually need a day? We only need 1/4 teaspoon, only 1/4 teaspoon. I say, for my clientele, I say 1 teaspoon is like your upper limit. So start with a quarter, 1 teaspoon a day. You do not want to exceed that, right? If you go out to eat on an average, a restaurant meal, guess how much that has? That has about 2000 milligrams of sodium in it. So it's almost close to your 1 teaspoon, right? So which means in one meal, you've got the whole salt that you needed for the day. That's a lot of salt. Where is this? Where is our hidden salts? Like I said, I think I mentioned in the sugar segments already, condiments. And I will tell you every now and then I am guilty. I love my food spicy. Hot sauce, very high in salt, right? Fish sauce, oyster sauce, all our salts, our soups, the canned soups, definitely watch for your sodium. Canned vegetables, seasonings, all the different seasonings, even things like your chicken breast, shrimp, to add flavor, they inject a sodium solution. So before you get those, again, that's why I'm big on label reading. Make sure that you are reading your labels. Very, very important. Similarly, again, just like we did with sugar, I will tell you with salt. Check your serving size, guys, for your salt. Look for sodium on the label. Now, then look on the right side. It'll usually give you a percent of how much sodium is in there. Anything less than 5% is low sodium. More than 15%, high sodium, okay? And make sure not to exceed your 2400 milligram of sodium, about 1 teaspoon. You do not want to exceed that. Very, very important. What can we do then? I will be talking about that, more about how to beat cholesterol naturally in my next segment. So next Friday, don't miss my episode. But basically substituting with different herbs and your spices, like your ginger, your garlic, go liberal, your fresh chili, your turmeric, your natural, your nutritional yeast, things like that. So again, work on those things. And I will tell you, these are acquired tastes, whether it be salt or sugar. When you introduce a child to salt and sugar, their taste buds get used to it. So then they start craving it, and they do not even recognize the natural taste of the food. Like, I'm drinking this juice. If I added sugar to it, I would be tasting the sugar, right? But right now, I'm tasting more of like the carrot, the celery, things like that. So the natural thing is what I'm tasting versus tasting the sugar or the salt. So my thing is, slowly, if you're working on your health, gradually try cutting back. Like I said, anything that's processed, your processed meats, your condiments, all those beverages out there, those are loaded with like your salt and your sugar. So be careful. I would much rather see you guys do more of things like I said, your herbs and spices and things like that, just to compare, since we are talking. And we will talk more about nuts, like I said, supplements for lowering your cholesterol in my next segment, more fiber, plant-based diets. There's so much to talk about. It is hot healthy month. But so these are here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but these are like plain peanuts, right? These are good. Now, I do have things like this here too. These are your honey roasted peanuts. So what am I going to look for in here? I am looking at the total amount of sugar. It has 8% of added sugar, right? So to me, this is high sugar. What do? If I am somebody who loves this is what I would do. I would cut up some fruit and then probably sprinkle a couple on my cut fruit or on my salad. That way I'm not exceeding, and I don't feel like, oh gosh, I'm craving this, I can't have that, right? So same thing with this one here too. This is a sour cream toasted onion. The first thing, as soon as I saw that flavoring, I love that flavoring, but then I was looking at the amount of sodium. Again, 6% sodium. Like I said, less than 5% is a good amount. But then, if I'm craving it, I'm just going to sprinkle it. Instead of using croutons or any of that, I'm just going to sprinkle that. Also, very, very important. Oops, sorry. Very important if you are starting your healthy journey. I know it can be a pain, but I'm telling you, it's so useful. Your little measuring cups. Like, for example, your peanuts, with your nuts, you don't want to exceed the 1/4 cup. A lot of times I see people sit down with like the whole box, or like a half a cup or 1 cup. That's a lot, right? So anyways, that is our segment on our hot healthy month. Watch me next week also. There is one thing that I wanted to show everybody. This product here that I am showcasing, usually I do showcase a product every time. It's called Right Rice. Love this product. And again, thank you, Right Rice, for sending me all those goodies. So basically, somebody like me, I was brought up with rice. I grew up in India as a child, and I do like it. And there's nothing wrong with rice as long as we can maintain portion sizes. But this rice is wonderful because guess what? It's made out of vegetables and lentils. What does the ingredients have? The ingredients have lentil flour, chickpea flour, some rice flour, and then it's just got your vegetables in it. Wonderful, tastes really good, has no added sugar, and I just read out the ingredients to you. Label reading again, guys. You do not want, if there is a product that comes to you with more than 5 to 6 ingredients, if it's got words in it that you can't even pronounce, you want to keep that away, right? You don't even want to use it. So use simple products like this. It's about swapping. It's about gradually introducing something. I'm not saying you have to completely say no to salt and sugar. All that I'm saying is limit it. Know where it is. Where are our hidden salts and sugars? So anyways, don't again, forget to join me next Friday noon. I always also save my recordings on my page. So I know it gets busy for people. You can always watch the replays, share it with friends and family. And then I will see you guys next Friday at noon. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay safe and let's keep our hearts beating. See you guys next time. Take care now. Bye.